Welcome back to the Sovereign Ratio. Today I have a couple of pieces of news for you, and I also want to take a look at the 5-day BBWP for a potential setup that I found this morning that could lead to big downside on Bitcoin. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and leave me a comment below. All right, so first of all, this one I think has gotten blown out of proportion on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. It says MetaMask appears to have been removed from the Apple App Store, which could cause some people to freak out that are on Apple iOS devices, thinking, oh, I wonder if my MetaMask is compromised, if there's something wrong with my assets on MetaMask. Right now, I just want to scroll down and show it doesn't really seem like there is, so I don't think there's anything to worry about right now, but it is one of those pressing headlines that people are looking at. It says down here, we're aware and working on figuring out what happened and resolving the issue ASAP. That comes from MetaMask lead product manager Taylor Monahan. So it sounds like it's an accident from what that sounds like to me, and they're working on just getting it back up on the store. So for now, I probably wouldn't be too concerned about it. And this piece of news is of particular interest to me because I think it's pretty common in the space where everybody wants a crypto Lamborghini, right? I'm that guy that does not want a crypto Lamborghini. If I'm going to get a car like that, it's going to be a Ferrari. It's going to be something that nobody else has, and it's going to be unique because I don't want to be like everybody else. So I saw this piece of news today, and I thought I would bring it out. Ferrari to accept crypto for luxury car purchases. Not a whole lot to this story, but there are a couple details. Currently, it's only set for the United States. However, Ferrari has stated that they do plan to expand that payment method into Europe, which is good for European customers. Ferrari states that many of their clients have invested in crypto, and this will help connect people who are not necessarily our clients but might be able to afford a Ferrari. So if you are a future crypto millionaire and you're looking for a high quality vehicle and you don't want to pay in your local currency, Ferrari has got you covered. And this is not going to be a full TA session, but this is something that I noticed and I wanted to bring attention to. In my last video, I discussed dates from the halving, and as you can see, we are 195 days away from the halving. Typically before around a month or 2 months, or even after a month or 2 months of the halving, which is scheduled for April 2024, there's a major move down in the market. Doesn't mean that there's going to be this time, but there historically has been. That being said, the 5-day chart is quite a long time frame chart, and I want to point out something. Clearly, Bitcoin price has gone below the bull market support band here on this chart and rallied right up to it, but not crossed the top of the bull market support band again on a closing basis. In fact, it wicked and rejected off of it and is now below the bull market support band completely. In addition to that, we have something very interesting to look at on the BBWP. If I expand the BBWP, you can see that it has gone all the way down to its most contracted phase on the quick moving line, and the slow moving line is approaching it. Whenever that fast moving line crosses up the slow moving line in the 15% area, many times you'll see a large expansion, which causes a lot of volatility in the market. As we know, BBWP is an expression of volatility and it's direction neutral. If something's volatile, that doesn't mean it goes down, even though the word volatile is normally seen as has a negative connotation behind it. But volatility is direction neutral. In this particular case, the way that the BBWP works is that when that fast moving line crosses up that slower moving line and it's above around the 10 to 15% range, you can see big expansions like we saw back here in January of this year. So if we go back to price action, we can also see that the stochastic oscillator is getting ready to cross down in this time frame. And generally, whenever the BBWP is reset and makes a large volatile move up, it follows the direction of the stochastic oscillator. The regular stochastic oscillator is just now touching and looking like it wants to turn down. And the ultimate stochastic oscillator, which is one of my favorite tools, is also starting to curve down. And you can see that these green bars are slowly decreasing, meaning that generally when that happens, there's a peak in the green bars and it goes red on the next bar. So I'm looking for a red bar and a cross down on the stochastic oscillator with a move up on the BBWP. Now, my original target for this kind of relief rally, bull run, whatever you want to call it, that we've had this year was 37 to 47K. And at this point, because of the position of the EMA 9 and also the bull market support band and also the Gaussian channel, which I can quickly throw on here, we're now back within the Gaussian channel. Typically what would have happened is this test would have been the final test of the top of the Gaussian channel back here in June before that big move up. And the move up that we got just couldn't get past that 32K mark with all this resistance from the previous cycle right here. So what I'm looking at, I would say probabilities are much higher favored to the downside at this point. Doesn't mean it can't rally. You know, this is a volatile asset. But if I was to make a bet right now, I would say based off of what I'm seeing in this and traditional security markets, and this is not a security, but I want to make that very clear. Traditional security markets, things look like they're favoring some significant downside at this point. So I just wanted to provide that quick update. Thanks for coming by. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave me a comment below. Tell me if you love the analysis, hate the analysis, think my shirt looks nice, whatever you want to tell me. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you in the next video, and safe trading.